You put him in a spot.
Alexa, play Glory Days. We'll do that one. Okay. Here we go. So now, here, come in a little bit. So now, here, come in a little bit. All right. So now we're live on Twitter. Okay, so you're coming for a second. Say hi. There you go. See you get a little closer. Wave. All right, that's Luke, my new intern. He's going to be here for probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It all depends. So get used to it. He's going to actually try and help package some of the content, some of the charts. Anyway, it is 6:31. It is July 12th. My name is Scott Redler. Let me get off of the disclosure so you can see. It is CPI day if you haven't heard. So once again, hey Luke, there you go. So right now, I'm just trying to show him how this process works. This is the 6:30 Club. Every day I've been here since the pandemic talking about what the market's focusing on. I go over some sectors, some stocks that we've been talking about, some stocks that have been working, what could happen for the day. And then it goes live on Twitter, it goes live on YouTube. And then I start preparing for my day for the Alpha team and for other all access. And look, so who we've got? So I'd say, gotta always say good morning early, right? We got Massapequa in the house. Who else is in the house? We got Connecticut in the house. We got Texas in the house. What up, Luke? It's good to be a senior in high school, right? What college are you going to?
University of Texas.
University of Texas. That's friggin' awesome. You like barbecue?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. All right. I got Austin in the house. There you go. All right. So here we are. A lot of talk this week, the past few weeks, about the rotation, about the tech rebalance that's happening on July 24th, which it's been actually creating opportunity. Every morning it feels like there's like a sell program that comes in, and then all of a sudden, you've been able to buy a dip in some of the tech names that have been giving us points of references. And then, there's been a nice rotation into some of the energy names, which we talked about, the XLE, the equal weight S&P, the IWM, some of the small caps, some of the Chinese names. So there's been like a lot to do. So hopefully you're not just focusing on the bear report or the, Wilson's, recession talk or whatever it is. Because if you've been focusing on what all the analysts have been saying, for the past 6 months, you've been now focusing on the charts. But if you've been here at the 6:30 Club, I got to believe you're doing pretty well. Hopefully this just didn't go out on me, but I think it's okay. Let's see. Can you guys still see? All right, everyone's still talking. So let's get into it. Yeah, a lot of things have gone on. A lot of the names that have been battered and bruised and been in a bear market since 2021 have broken out from small descending channels. But first, let's talk about the SPYs. So here you have the SPYs. If you remember when we came in this week, it felt like there was a little volatility. It felt like the market was, trying to prove it could hold itself higher. So what happened is we held 437.06 right there, right? We held out. We made a higher low 2 days ago and then perked up. Okay, so now at this point, you have yesterday's high at 442.97, and this is the high of the year, right? If the SPYs are going to go to 445 or 446 on a light CPI, it's got to get above this and stay above it, and that. If the CPI comes in line, because I think everyone's talking so much about how it's going to, be light, chances are we pull in a little bit or we get hit, and then we'll see what kind of pressure the sellers have or power, and then you have this as one spot of support, and then now this is now, big support. So pivot support, bigger support, pivot resistance, highs of the year. So that's how I approach it, and I say, where are we at going into it? So right now, SPYs are up a little. You have the SPYs up 79 cents, okay? If you took some positions and you're a little worried because you can get some volatility at 30, you need to manage them a bit. So anyway, the Qs have not fallen apart. So here's tech. Here's a nice little, wedge type formation where we're holding in here. So it's not quite leading, but it's not falling apart either. The market likes when at least it's not falling apart. We like when tech leads, but if it's not leading, it's not the end of the world. So, and you can't get too bearish if what's this low here, 363.41. Okay, if we hold that spot. So it's not so bad that Apple's been resting for 4 or 5 days and Microsoft, etc., because you're getting good movement in lots and lots of other names. Some of the crypto names, this and that. If you look at IWM, we started talking about this, in early June. they did mess with everybody with this move right back to the lower end of the range, but then boom, right to a high of 190.08. And I gave you guys the weekly look of the small caps where it showed you how it was really tight. If it gets above 189, it could see 196 to 199. So this is a bigger perspective here. You know, it could also show you how you had the false breakout, which was your sell signal, and then here's where you broke down. So finally, it seems like the small caps, you know, are still, you know, getting some traction. So a lot of those little names have been the place to be, which is to me, it's a lot of fun because you could use your day count rules, you could use your bar by bar analysis, because a lot of times you get a big candlestick day one and has huge volume, and it could lead to a day two, day three, and sometimes a whole new active sequence, right? So anyway, the IWMs have room. Here's your XLE. You know, I talked about kind of get above and stay above 82. You know, some guys will long versus support here. It broke above this small descending trend line, and then another. That's a nice move. I went over Oxy with you guys. I'm still in it. Nice move. This stock has been in a consolidation literally for a year and a half. So Warren Buffett, probably one of the best investors in the world, has been accumulating this thing for 2 years. So maybe you should accumulate a little bit with them as an investment, and as far as a you know, as a trade. It broke this little trend line here, and looks like it's on its way back towards whatever this is, 65-ish. So here's your 65 area. So there's a bit of a void there. So, you know, for me, I haven't been in energy names in a while. You know, I've been managing mostly tech and those kind of things. So as I said before, I didn't ever read the book Who Moved My Cheese. I don't want to be stuck there trading, you know, names that aren't moving anymore. You know, I want to move where the money moves, because that's what we are. We're traders. We're in the moving business, not in the parking business. Usually the only thing you park is bad stocks that you broke your rules for, and it turns into a parking lot of crap stocks that he said, oh, it used to be a trade, now it's an investment. Anyway, so that's a good spot. So we'll see if this active sequence goes. Meta's, you know, look at that trend. Wow, so many great trades along the way here with Meta. You know, this whole Threads thing, 100 million downloads. Wow. Anyway, to me, this was important because it held the trend line. This has been a leading stock the entire way. And I did buy some options for this week and next week, and I'm going to trade it. If it gets above 300, you know, you still have another move there. This morning, it's above, it's at 299.50, so that's been good. So this has been awesome. Well, Tesla, you know, has been resting. Tesla right now has been resting. Not the end of the world, right? I didn't love the fact that it broke into this gap here. Okay, it took a little bit of the momentum out. Here was the gap. Remember the gap from the deliveries. Filled it. So I'm actually not in the stock, but what I'm doing is I'm accumulating a little bit for earnings. Sometimes when the stock is just, say, you know, $20 off the highs, you accumulate for earnings, which are next week, and you buy some cheap premium. So this way, if you want to be in for the earnings call, you could do so, and you're you know, getting a good price while they're, you know, getting some people out of it. So anyway, this isn't the best looking. You know, it's looked better. You know, we've been in this pretty much trading it since 169.76, but overall still looks healthy. But thank goodness, while this is pulling, guess what we caught? We caught a nice move in Lucid, right? To 837, we were buying this thing in the $7 range. I still think it's got room to the 200-day. You look here at the weekly chart. Okay, remember when it was at 57 and then most got out of 37? Well, you know, here it is breaking this little descending trend line and probably on its way towards, you know, towards 1060, maybe even more, right? Especially if EVs continue to get flow. So I think this is a good swing trade. A lot of guys bought options with me last week when the stock was like 730. So you already made like a double on your options. While I'm talking Lucid, I might as well talk Neo. Neo also, if you remember, remember when we played this stock back when it was above the 8-day? Look at this. When the trend is your friend, then it broke, and then it confirmed the break. Well, anyway, looks like this Neo just broke its small descending trend line down here. It can get to at least 12-ish, if not 15-ish. So, you know, if the small caps are going to be good and Tesla continues to bark, you know, the big dog's got to bark for the tail of the wagon. Neo, Lucid, you know, LI, some of those have all been pretty good. So, you know, nice little trades there. You know, then you have some other off the beaten path names like yesterday, guys like Red Dog. Look at Roblox, RBLX. I don't know who plays games anymore, but we did. And look at this weekly chart. This actually looks pretty good too. You know, looking like it could work its way back towards here if you look at the daily chart. So with some of these, I buy options just because, sometimes there's a good trade, sometimes, it's loose and wide, but either which way, nice move here. Probably works its way back to here and maybe even a little bit higher. What's kept us real busy, Snap. Oh God, Snap. Snap. I traded it for earnings like 5 times, and they've missed all 5 times. It's been a pain in the butt. But if you bought it after every time it sold off post earnings, you did well. So congratulations to you, Snap. Again, all the kids. That's all they do. Do you snap? See, Luke snaps. That's how I snap. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, with that being said, some of these, with Bitcoin hovering at 30,000, we've had such big moves. I don't know if you guys remember, we were buying this at 1020. We were buying Mara. Okay, and everyone's like, oh, you're playing the junk of the junk. I'm like, well, crypto's hanging in there. Nice tight pattern, and boom. And then it took out 13, went as high as what yesterday? 1758. I actually stopped trading it. I did also, trying to stay with things longer, but I didn't stay with it as long as I could have. I think I traded it from here through there. I sold it somewhere in the 14s. I'm like, hey, 40%. It's up like 70%. But we did do coin pretty well. 2 snaps in a circle. Anyway, coin. If you guys remember, on Monday, I'm like, hey guys, I think there's another setup in coin. Okay, you guys are like, well, coin's a zero. I'm like, I thought coin was a zero too when all of those regional banks got in trouble. I'm like, they have no insurance. Why would anybody want to have their money there? I actually took a bunch of money out of coin myself, but the stock didn't go down. So right around here, if you remember, I put on a 60 by 80 call spread. And it's maxed out. That was huge. But then I'm like, hey, we have another little bull flag right here. Remember on Saturdays and Sundays, I post those chart patterns. I'm take 10 minutes, learn your candlesticks, watch your chart patterns. They can make you money better than watching the analysts who have been bearish, or the economists who have been bearish for years, or the billionaires who say the market's too risky for you, but they're fully invested. Anyway, look at this. You had a move, a consolidation. Doesn't this look like a bull flag breakout above the 8-day? So I was like, if we can get above 81.40, we have another move. It went to 92.15 yesterday. So myself and the Alpha team is my crew. What we bought, and I think some of you bought, was $82 calls just in case, because the August, by the way, when I bought the 60 by 80s, I bought it for August. I had no idea by July 12th they would be trading above, we're almost at 90. So anyway, I'm trying to let them suck out the top side of that premium and stay there. But anyway, another great trade, right? I think we bought it for 2.5. I was sold them all the way up to 7, and I still have small left. Because Bitcoin still, if you look at Bitcoin, we'll see what happens today with CPI day. Maybe it's a convenient day that all of a sudden, Bitcoin wants to get going. Bitcoin has been hovering here, okay, and having a little trouble with 31.4, but ultimately seems like once it gets above this, chances are you go to your weekly chart and you'll see that Bitcoin, to me, look at this. Oh, look at this bull flag. Whoa. Looks like you can see 33, 37, 39. And if that's the case, it looks like these crypto stocks know that's going to happen. So anyway, here's your wide-range igniting bar. Oh, look at this little bull flag. Anyway, a real move above 31, and this is what's probably going to happen. I've been trading crypto with technicals since right here. This is when I got involved in crypto, right there. I missed like the real move from 1,500 to 15,000, but you know what? I'm a grinder. So with that being said, you could have got out here at the false top. You could have got here. All in all, this is when it ignited again, this year to start, and then this is your reconfirmation. So there's room there. So we'll see what happens with coin. Coin been battered and bruised, just broke out above this spot. Chances are, if it really wanted to knock the short's teeth out, it can get up to 120 or so. Any which way, there's been a lot to do, lots of trades, lots of setups. If you keep looking for setups and you keep using your tier system and you know your risk and you define it, you know what's happening, you can make money in this market. Every now and then there's a rotation and a reshuffle, and you got to figure it out. That's why we get up every day at 4:30 in the morning. That's why we work on our process, so this way we're ready for when things happen. Same way today, 8:30, you got the CPI. We need a light CPI to get the SPYs to get above and stay above. Let's go back to the weekly chart. The what was it? 440, 430 area. Okay. First of all, everyone's like, Red Dog, when did this bull market start? To me, it started right there on March 29th. Okay. But anyway, Didn't start when we were 20% off the lows. By that point, we were already, making moves and back to our high water marks. And, anyway. So here are your two pivots. Light CPI, see if the SPYs can get above and stay above 442.97. And then here, measured move from 431 to 444 is about 12, 13 points. That could start a whole nother move if it wants it. But then again, once we get by the CPI, then you have bank earnings on Friday. Next week is Netflix and Tesla. We'll see how we react there. And then after that is all the big ones, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and we'll go over that at another point. But either which way, listen, I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. It's 6:46. I got a lot of chart work to do. Listen, the rotation has been real. There's been lots of things to do. Hopefully you're taking advantage of it. If you're not, get to the beach, get to the mountains, refresh your head, and come back to the market when you're ready to pay attention. And again, you don't have to be perfect to make progress. Just put the work in. See you guys later.